Hi, welcome back. It's Lionel, the tech lead and partner at Westford here. Today, talking to you about why outsource your development or any needs in your business. So, we get this question very, very often all the time. Why, instead of being in house, outsource all your capabilities, all your needs? And I am very perplexed about how people feel about outsourcing because today in our current world, right, we outsource almost everything. I mean, nobody is growing their own vegetables, no one is hunting their own chickens or hunting their own meat. Nobody is going out there making their own food, like from first principles. We outsource everything in our modern lives. Companies do the same thing. So when it comes to web development or software development, most people just do not have this same concept of outsourcing. They always want to have it in-house. You see them always hiring people, hiring developers in-house. Now, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why outsourcing is a pretty good idea and how you can go about doing it. So the first reason why outsourcing is a very good idea is that it's the cost. Now, a lot of project managers or companies look at the cost, and on an hourly basis, they go, "Whoa, that costs more than what I would cost to have someone for a whole entire month and a contract." But this is similar to that concept of the ride sharing, where you only pay for what you use. So if I get a Grab to go home from my office here, I only pay for that 25 minutes where I'm using the car. I only pay for what I use. If you purchase a car, if you purchase a developer, hire a developer, you pay all the costs that when you're not using. So for example, you pay the registration costs, you pay the fuel costs, the insurance, the depreciation, all these hidden costs. That applies especially to developers as well. You know, a project cycle goes up and it comes down. And when it's coming down, you pay for them. Whether or not they're doing any coding, whether or not there's a project to roll out or deploy, you are paying them for it. So this is how you can actually save a lot of money simply by outsourcing, even though the hourly rate is higher. The hourly rates for outsourcing may be up to 50% more. But you have to take into account when you hire someone full-time, you pay for their sick leave, you pay for their CPF, their annuity, you pay for your bonuses, you pay for their office space, their computers. All this hidden cost adds up to a significant amount. So that's one of the main reasons for outsourcing. Number 2 is flexibility. Now, one of the problems with hiring somebody is that they may only have one level of skill. And I see this happening when they're trying to hire people in a company. They want somebody who is DevOps, who knows front end, back end, the databases, everything, because you're paying fixed. Now, this is a really crazy concept in development business. You don't see this anywhere else. You don't see a construction site where they say, "Hey, I want a plumber, but you need to be an electrician as well, and in your part-time, I want you to lay bricks." That just does not happen. So what happens is that you try to hire somebody who's like a jack of all trades, or maybe somebody who's by the hour much cheaper, and this ends up doing a very, very bad job. Usually you don't even have that kind of person. I mean, can you imagine asking a plumber to become an electrician? I mean, water and electricity just don't match. So this gives companies the flexibility when you're moving around. So sometimes you need more front-end people. Sometimes you need more back-end people. It depends on the project. And if you hire them fixed, your budget's gone towards these people. You either have to train them or you have to hire somebody else as well. So your budget, your numbers start getting very, very high. So that's the flexibility is what allows you to become agile. You can say, "Hey, I want my project to be more front-end loaded. I want to go on to web apps. So I'll have more front-end guys. I'll outsource the front-end stuff." If you end up with a whole bunch of guys who are back-end, Python, there's not much you can do. You know, if you have a whole bunch of designers who are working down there and you say, "Hey, we need to have more database optimization, we need that kind of capability. Good luck to you. You're gonna have to train them. So that's a huge mistake. The other thing about it is that people think about, this idea of long-term hiring, or the opposite of flexibility is stability. The average person who works, even at a big company like Google, is about 2 years, 2.6 years. So what ends up happening, right, is that you really don't have the kind of fixed team that you're thinking of. Like they can still change their job, especially in today's world. I think the average is about 1 year plus. There's a lot of turnover down there. So this fixed idea of having, since I'm hired them full time, I have this warm, comfy feeling that they are a team, they're fixed, is not really as prevalent as you think it is. So that's the second reason. Flexibility is very important for a business, especially capability. The final reason is specialist in the business, right? Then you see someone who is Python and they say, hey, I want you to become, I need you to have some capability to become a front-end CSS or JavaScript. It just doesn't happen anywhere else. Imagine a doctor, right? Imagine a doctor, a specialist, a neurosurgeon, and you say to the neurosurgeon, hey, I want you to become an ENT specialist. I know the brain is roughly 4 centimeters away from the eyes, so can't you do that? Your neurosurgeon is going to tell you, I'm sorry, I don't do that. But in the tech business, you're going to see some people just say, I'm going to try to become, from Python, I'm going to become a Node.js. I'm going to try. They're kind of similar. They are kind of similar, but like medicine, there's a difference between an expert and someone who is just entering that area. Now, the guys who you're always outsourcing, they are just handling that. Think about construction business. Think about the plumber. He's on the call, one deal, he's fixing a pipe. Next deal, he's fixing a pipe. Another deal, he's fixing a pipe. He's always fixing a pipe. He's getting very good. That means better specialty, higher efficiency, better know-how. So they have the right tools, they're only doing that kind of thing. So like myself, I am a U2 expert. So when it comes to that, I always do as many U2s as possible. So a similar story where I heard about these surgeons, right? That this guy only wanted to do LASIK. He just was lining up LASIK every day going chuk, 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 because that's where his efficiency was. So as consultants, right, we want to get our best efficiency in our areas that we specialize. So I don't even want to look at WordPress. I seldom look at Ruby. I want to go straight to my core PHP. If not, it's E2. And in fact, it's better if it's E2. Like that's my one. I go chuk, 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 chuk. So you're going to get a lot of specialty down there. And that's where the value is from outsourcing. So 3 reasons why you should look at outsourcing your project. Now, I'm going to take the next video to tell you the reasons how to outsource your project, how to get the best efficiency out of that, how to work with your vendor or your consultant, how to do that. But until that time, I'm Lionel Tech Lead, and that's the bottom line because the Tech Lead said so.